up, guys? It's your boy, Barca Boy 103. Today we're going to be reacting to the Barcelona news over the past week or so. The amount of news that has come out in this past week is ridiculous, and knowing me, I'm going to cover absolutely everything. Transfer news, we're going to give you guys an update on our defense search, midfield search, attacking search. We apparently have a full agreement with Inigo Martinez, where we're going to sign him as a free agent. We're going to give you guys updates on Messi. Apparently there's now a 60% chance he joins Barcelona. Updates on, Juan Foyth, Victor Roca, João Cancelo, Aymeric Laporte, Bernardo Silva, Gundogan, literally everyone you've seen in the media. Also some player exit updates on Ferran, Torres, Ansu Fati, Abde, Nico, Longley, Sergio Des. Renewal updates, Busquets, Iñaki Peña, Dembele, Xavi, Lamine Yamal. Apparently Jorge Mendes had a meeting with Joan Laporta yesterday. We had the updates on that as well. Lamine Yamal was being discussed. Pedri injury update. Gavi's registration being cancelled. He has now go back to number 30. And also the updates around the Negreira case. But before we get into it, make sure you guys smash that like button down below. Let's try to get to 200 likes in this video. Be very much appreciated. Also, if you're new, make sure you subscribe down below if you haven't already. And let's get into it. Now, before we get into the video, this video is sponsored by Number One Foot. Number One Foot is one of the best jersey football replica websites on the market. They have a variety of items at fantastic prices. I have here some with me. Firstly is the home kit for this season. Excellent quality. The badge is nice and smooth. Spotify logo is printed on to perfection. And I also even have a jacket as well. This is one of the training jackets that the players wear. There's a logo there on the right hand side, zipper and everything. They have some badges here, the Nike logo as well. The quality is absolutely, feels real, and also the prices are unbeatable. And if you use the discount code BOY at checkout, you do get an additional 15% off your orders. That's BOY. Use that checkout, you get 15% off your order, and all orders above $80 as well will get free shipping. So what are you waiting for? Top link down in the description down below and get your new football kits today. Let's start off with the transfer news over the past week or so. First, we're going to be discussing Xavi's midfield search. We have been linked with numerous amount of midfielders in different positions as well. The pivot, the box-to-box, and also the creative midfielder as well. Now, firstly coming in from Ferran Martinez from Mundo Deportivo, he's come out saying that Barcelona have made progress with Ilkay Gundogan's environment and the player welcomes joining Barcelona, but the negotiations are on standby until Barcelona's FFP situation becomes more clear. Another name on the table is Dani Parejo, but at the moment Gundogan is ahead of Parejo, although it's not ruled out that both of them could end up arriving this summer. Again, all this depends on Busquets' future, which at the moment is very on roll. So we'll talk about that later on. But let's say hypothetically Busquets does end up leaving. Out of these two, I think Gundogan fits the profile a bit more. I think Parejo fits the mold of La Liga more, but not more so Europe, but Gundogan can do it in Europe and in the league. Can Gundogan play consistently in the pivot like Parejo? I'm not quite too sure. I think Parejo is probably a bit more natural, but I would go for Gundogan simply on the fact he's a bit younger and also because he has that more experience on the European stage as well. Both will probably come in for free. I think Dani Parejo has 1 year left his contract this summer, but maybe we can get Villarreal to terminate it or pay a very small fee, but Gundogan will be for free, and that's a bit of an added bonus. Now on Gundogan, there is a bit more coming in from Sport. They came out saying that Xavi likes Ilkay Gundogan and he will be a free agent this summer. He is currently the most viable option to strengthen the Barcelona midfield. So I think he means in terms of just adding another number. Of course, right now we have 5 first-team midfielder: Busquets, De Jong, Pedri, Gavi, and Frenkie. You need 6. Pablo Torres will probably go out on loan next summer. You want to bring in one in already. That one will most likely be currently Ilkay Gundogan. But of course, if some players leave, that will have a different interpretation. By some players, I basically mean either Busquets or Kessie, because Frenkie de Jong, Pedri, Gavi, 100% are staying. So we'll wait and see on this one. Again, I wouldn't mind bringing in Gundogan a year or two. Good addition, free agent as well. Next season we want to really push for Europe, so I think he'll be a great addition, but we'll have to wait and see. Now there is a different profile that we are looking for in the midfield, of course, pending Busquets' future, and that is looking for a pivot. Now Sport have also come out saying that Xavi does not forget about Bernardo Silva and also Martin Zubimendi in his ideal replacement for Busquets, but the financial demands needed to undertake both of these operations are currently not within Barcelona's reach. So apparently Xavi can pick any 2 midfielders in the world to sign. It'd be Zubimendi and Bernardo Silva. But again, the club right now cannot afford one of them, let alone both of them, which is very, very unfortunate. I think the pull that Barcelona has is ridiculous, but I think we have the money as well. It's just registration. It's just FFP, financial fair play, having that salary margin to fit their actual wages on the wage bill. I believe right now we're only 100 million over or 200 million over, but we still have to get rid of the wages of Griezmann, Piqué, which is about 90, plus Pjanic, Memphis, Bellerin was already nothing. So wait and see how the FFP develops and also the salary margin in the next few months. We'll get the definitive answer, I believe, before the Mercado opens. I think beginning of May, the FFP numbers are released. But again, the interest from Bernardo Silva has been very, very strong since last summer. But again, his signing will be the most difficult. Florian Martinez from Mundo Deportivo came out saying that signing Bernardo Silva is practically impossible for Barcelona. The player doesn't want to leave Man City, but would be delighted to join Barcelona, but he faces an operation worth around 70 to 80 million euros in addition to the player's wages, who will not reduce his current salary. So Bernardo Silva wants to earn around the same amount he currently earns at Man City. His transfer fee will be very, very big as well. With 70, 80, that was last summer. I am not paying that now. I think with 1 year left in this deal, 50, 60 at the most with a package is what I would go. So like 50 million fee, 10 million add-ons, or 45, 15 add-ons. I would not go a penny over 60, but I'd rather spend that 60 on different incorporations in the squad. I think spending it all on one player right now is not the right moment. We still need to strengthen in a few other places. We're not like Man City right now where we can spend 100 million on one world-class player to add and make our team stronger. We still need to fix some holes in and around the team. So I don't think Bernardo Silva will be coming to Barcelona. I think that ship was for last summer and now has officially sailed, unfortunately. But we have been linked with another midfielder who has the same profile as Bernardo Silva, and that is Florian Wirtz, the midfielder from Bayer Leverkusen. Ferran Martinez from Sport came out saying that Barcelona are very interested in Florian Wirtz. The club has already spoken to his father, and the player is attracted by Barcelona. Apparently he's a big Barcelona fan growing up as well. Barcelona consider him a different profile player with a great future and have asked him for patience. He has a contract until 2027. He will be expensive, but Bayer Leverkusen are a selling club. Apparently Bayer Leverkusen want around 100 million euros for him. That ain't gonna happen. We ain't gonna pay that. I think this is something you look for in 2025, maybe 2026. Right now, 2023, he still has, 5 years left in his deal, 4 years left in his deal. Way too early. I believe there's also an option for another year that Bayer Leverkusen have put in there as well. So it's one to look out for the future. I think he'd be a great profile player, very similar to, Pedri. And imagine a midfield two of him and Pedri. That'd be absolutely fantastic. He's one of the brighter talents in Germany. He just came off an ACL injury. Also, he's a huge Barcelona fan as well. If you just type in versus Barcelona, you'll see all the quotes about him, talking about Barcelona, all that sort of stuff. So we'll wait and see on this midfield search. I think definitely we'll be signing a midfielder this summer, at least one, maybe two if Busquets ends up leaving. Maybe if an offer comes in for Frenkie as well, but we will definitely sign at least one to replace Pjanic / Pablo Torres. I think Gundogan right now is the favorite, especially with him being a free agent, but I wouldn't rule out Danny Parejo either. Now, along with the midfield, another area where Barcelona want to strengthen this summer is, of course, to the defense. And right now, March, April, May is the prime time to sign free agents. Of course, last year we signed Andreas Christensen and Frenkie during this time, and our first agreement has now been official. We had some rumors about a month ago or so for Ivan Ndicka, but was never confirmed in Spain. That was only in Germany. But now we have the first one coming in from Spanish reports. From Relivo, one of the most reliable outlets, they've come out saying that Barcelona have reached an agreement with Inigo Martinez over a contract duration and a salary for the 31-year-old Spanish left-footed center back to join the club as a free agent this summer. The camp of Martinez want assurance that both economically and sportingly the player will not be affected by the Negreira case if any transfer takes place. Xavi has been a big supporter of the signing as he wanted a left-footed center back for some time now, and the player himself wants a move because he believes this is his last opportunity to join a club where he can fight for titles. Now, it's not signed, sealed, and delivered quite yet. There is an agreement with Barcelona and Inigo Martinez over a contract, the length, the salary, all that sort of stuff. The length and salary has not been confirmed, to the media quite yet, but there is an agreement there. Couple things. One, I think it's a good signing. As a fifth choice center back, I don't mind that whatsoever. Free agent, I got it. Two, I'm hearing reports now from sources telling me that Eric Garcia could now end up leaving the club with Inigo Martinez being signed because Alonso renews his contract, and now Jordi Alba is going to stay because we'll talk about Messi in a few seconds. So what's the point of signing Inigo Martinez if you're going to sell Eric Garcia? With Eric Garcia, I think Inigo Martinez currently is better than him, of course, because he has over 10 years of experience ahead of him. But I think Eric Garcia is a promising center back, can grow in that position. I've seen him play very well with Barcelona and very, very poor as well. I think he can grow in that position. I'd rather have him as a 4th choice center back than have Inigo Martinez as a 4th choice center back. So with us renewing Alonso, Jordi Alba not leaving, why are we adding an additional center back is my question. If there aren't any other parameters already in place, are we going to sell Alonso? Probably not. Is Jordi Alba going to leave? Probably not. With Inigo Martinez being signed, it all points to either Alonso barely playing any minutes next season, like he'll need a miracle to play a minute, or it points to Eric Garcia being sold, or maybe even loaned out. We'll wait and see. I think there's a lot of parameters with this Inigo Martinez agreement, but again, his signing is not signed yet. It is just an agreement, verbal agreement. I think Inigo Martinez is a great center back. We should have signed him back in 2017 when he was at Real Sociedad, but we have an agreement for him now. I would take him depending on the parameters that do end up taking place. I'd rather let go of Alonso, have Balde and Jordi Alba at left back, than have 5 center backs in Koundé, Christensen, Araujo, Eric Garcia, and Inigo Martinez. So we'll wait and see what happens, but again, there is a full agreement with Inigo Martinez from to join Barcelona this summer as a free agent. Now, along with a center back, the club want to also sign a right back this summer to reinforce the defense, which in my opinion should be one of our priorities, if not the top priority this summer. Now, Gabriel Sanz from Deportivo has come out saying that through their respective camps, Barcelona has inquired about Pavard, Meunier, and Dalot, but haven't gotten in touch with Juan Foyth's department quite yet. Barcelona is aware that Villarreal will demand a high price for Juan Foyth. So apparently Barcelona have made contact with Benjamin Pavard's camp, Thomas Meunier's camp, Diego Dalot camp, and also Juan Foyth, but have not received a response from Foyth quite yet. Now I'm seeing all these options for right back. I'm thinking if I'm picking from this list, the best one is probably Juan Foyth, but again, he will be the most expensive one. I do like the profile of Pavard, but I feel like we could be getting better than that. I'd rather trust Koundé at right back than bring in Pavard, if I'm being honest. I think Meunier, he's dead. I don't even know why he's an option. I think he's just an option to have just someone who's a natural right back, bring him in for cheap as cover, which, you know what, I understand. But there is one right back who is actually world class, because none of these are world class. They're all good players, very, very adaptable. Dalot can play left back, right back, Meunier left back, right back on the wings as well, Foyth center back, right back, and Pavard right back, center back. But there's one world class fullback, one world class right back that we have been linked with that we could end up signing this summer, and that is João Cancelo. This is coming in from Sport. They've come out saying that João Cancelo has emerged as an option for Barcelona. João Laporta is willing to make an effort to sign the fullback, and his agent Jorge Mendes has a very close relationship with the club, increasing the chances of his signing. Now, Cancelo coming to Barcelona all depends on if Bayern Munich execute their buy option for him for 70 million euros this summer, which is very, very unlikely. But will City loan him again for another season is the big question. I think João Cancelo would be a brilliant signing. I've seen him from his Valencia days. I remember back in the day, 2014-15, when he was being linked with us. Then we signed who? Nelson Semedo. We signed the damn wrong Portuguese fullback. I think this would be a great signing. I really, really do. But again, there's a lot of parameters to it. I think this would be a great addition to the squad. The question now is, can we pull it off? Apparently, Barcelona were offered Cancelo in January. They studied it. They analyzed it. They were going to do it. But then FFP bit us right in the arse. And apparently, Cancelo would have picked Barcelona over Bayern Munich as well. Bayern Munich was the only club that could afford him and that offered him a deal that he was tempted by to leave Man City. Keep your eyes on João Cancelo. If Bayern Munich did not buy him, which is very, very likely, and he just want to leave Man City, I think there's a deal to be made there. So keep your eyes on it. João Cancelo, world-class fullback, could be a potential signing for Barcelona. I would take Cancelo over Foyth, over Pavard, over Diego Dalot, and definitely over Thomas Meunier. So I'll wait and see on this, but again, there is an option for a world-class player to join Barcelona in a position that we desperately need this summer. Now, a position for Barcelona this summer that isn't quite the priority, but we're going to be keeping a close eye on it as we do need some reinforcement in that position, is of course the attack. Now, firstly, we have been linked a lot with Marcus Thuram over the past few months, but that interest is slowly but surely dying down with the increased interest in Victor Roca and also the the GOAT as well. Now, Ferran Martinez from Deportivo came out saying that Marcus Thuram is moving away from Barcelona. There's no consensus at the club regarding the signing of Marcus Thuram, who has more and more options on the table. The clearest option to this day seems that he will join Bayern Munich. I think Thuram would have been a good addition, especially as a free agent, but he's always going to be that risk, especially like Memphis Depay, for example. You bring him in, does well, great. If not, you sell him on to make a profit. So there's always that risk, but again, you have to offer him a good deal for him to take that risk and join the club as well. I would have taken Victor Roca, and of course I would take the GOAT over Marcus Thuram as well, so I'm not quite too surprised by this. And again, he wants to come, he wants to play as well. I think his name is only being linked because of his father, who used to play for Barcelona, of course. So we'll wait and see on this. I think it will be an option only if the other two fall through, Victor Roca and Messi. So we'll wait and see, but I think very, very unlikely that Marcus Thuram will be joining Barcelona at any point. Buddy forward, who is also going to be a free agent this summer that is getting closer to joining Barcelona, is the greatest human being to touch a football, Lionel Andres Messi. I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about this. Now, first we have reports coming in from France. They've come out saying that not much progress was made in the last meeting between PSG and Messi for his renewal. PSG is not willing to make all the sacrifices for him to stay. They know they need money to strengthen themselves in the summer in other areas. So PSG not going to go that extra mile to renew Messi. They want him to stay, of course. They will offer him a contract, but if he does end up rejecting it twice, they might walk away from negotiations. There are also reports coming in from TYC Sports in Argentina, the most reliable outlet in terms of Argentinian player news. They've come out saying that although it's not been made publicly known quite yet, the desire of Messi and his family is to return to Barcelona. Now, we got all these reports from outside of Catalonia. The ones from Catalonia have arrived. Firstly, Fernando Polo and Rachel Tolor from Mundo Deportivo have come out saying that Messi wishes to remain in Europe and PSG continues to be his first choice. Barcelona hopes for Messi to come back, but FFP does make it difficult. Lionel Messi would still run into problems getting registered even if he drastically reduces his wages to join Barcelona, because La Liga would compare his salary at PSG right now. So again, the only thing that is stopping Messi's return right now is freaking Javier Tebas and La Liga and his stupid goddamn rules. But the hope is increasingly growing, because Gerard Miro has come out saying he was asked if Leo Messi will be willing to return to Barcelona, which he replied with yes. And then he came out saying something big yesterday. He was asked on a live stream, a bunch of streamers, DJ Mario, Ibai, they all asked him what is the percent of Messi returning to Barcelona as of today. As I'm recording this, March 14th. This will be coming out, of course, March 15th. He said, as of March 14th, there is a 60% chance that Messi will return to Barcelona. Now, this is just his opinion, but it's not really news per se. But his opinion is, of course, highly regarded. He is the best journalist in Barcelona. He was the only one that said back in January that his return is likely and that he will not renew with PSG. 3 months later, he's absolutely spot on yet again. And he's saying there's a 60% chance. Yo, I'm getting, look at the goosebumps, lads. Like, it's imagine Messi coming, oh my god. One more season, he cuts the ribbon at the new stadium. I have a dream. We'll wait and see. I think my current viewpoint right now is the only thing that's stopping Messi's return right now is FFP, is Javier Tebas and his goddamn stupid ass rules are just flip-flopping every single day. It gets worse. We'll talk about his rules later on in the video, but we'll wait and see. I'm not gonna get too excited. It's only, again, Jordan Miro saying this. I want to see other journalists say this as well, but if the chance is 60%, that's crazy. That's the highest we've been. I think Jordan Miro said like 10% back in January when he said that first report that he will not renew with PSG. Now we're up to 60. That's very, very high. That's more than half. So we'll wait and see. I don't want to get too excited, but again, the return of Leo Messi, guys, without a shadow of a doubt, is on the table and definitely is possible. Now, with the summer transfer window fastly approaching and also the first international break before the summer transfer window approaching, it is now the time for the club to make decisions on transfer targets, player exits, and also players coming in as well. Now, having Minga from AES, who of course is very close to Xavi and a very reliable source as well, he's come out saying that Barcelona's main targets this summer are as follows: at right back Juan Foyth, at center back Inigo Martinez, in the midfield Martin Zubimendi, and up front Victor Roca. The club also has alternatives to situations in case those deals fall through, like Ilkay Gundogan, Aymeric Laporte, and Bernardo Silva, all three of course Man City players. So I'm happy with this list. Of course, if you don't get Martin Zubimendi, which is very, very likely unfortunately at the moment, you bring in Gundogan, and then you also add Lionel Messi to that list as well, which of course will be a bonus from the transfer plan. I see Juan Foyth. I think, what about Cancelo? But again, the club is making advancements because yesterday as well, alongside Jorge Messi coming to Barcelona, and now there's a 60% chance that Messi's return is possible, Joan Laporta and also Mateo Alemán met with the super agent Jorge Mendes. Jorge Miro came out saying the folder of Ansu Fati, Alejandro Balde, Bernardo Silva, Marco Asensio, and João Cancelo and Lamine Yamal was discussed yesterday in the meeting in Porto, between Jorge Mendes, Joan Laporta, and Mateo Alemán. Why in God's green earth is Marco Asensio on this list and being discussed is beyond me. I mean, I'm not focused on that. I'm focused on Alejandro Balde renewal, Bernardo Silva possibly coming in, João Cancelo, great move. Ansu Fati's future, we'll talk about that in the next minutes, but again, the club are making those advancements. So if you look at the list as a whole, if you're telling me right back we either get Foyth or João Cancelo, center back we get Inigo Martinez if we do end up signing it, midfield Bernardo Silva, maybe, but most likely either Ilkay Gundogan or Martin Zubimendi, then up front Victor Roca and or Leo Messi. That's a perfect window as well. Get rid of some of the dead wood as well. You're looking at a 10 out of 10 summer. So again, the club have a great plan. Last summer, they executed it to almost perfection. They did everything they wanted to do except sign Bernardo Silva. This summer, though, the task will be more difficult. No economic levers. La Liga are right up your arse as well. I think the list that Barcelona have compiled together for their targets is very, very good. The question now is, will they execute it? Let's now discuss the players who have been rumored to leave Barcelona over the past week or so. First up is, of course, in the attack, where apparently the club's planning to sell someone around 50 million euros. It's either Ferran Torres or Ansu Fati, let's be honest. Now, Marca have come out saying that Ansu Fati and Ferran Torres are the two forwards that have the most chances of leaving the club this summer. Robert Lewandowski, Ousmane Dembele, and Rafinha are doing better in the eyes of the club. Of course, Dembele's future is a bit in doubt as well because he does need a contract renewal. In order to spend on signings, Barcelona first have to sell. Now, with Ansu, Jorge Mendes meeting with Joan Laporta, he's number 10. I cannot see the club selling him, especially Messi. If Messi comes back, different story, really different story. But Ferran Torres is the main one. We are hearing that Atletico Madrid are also interested in Ferran. Hate to sell to Atletico, but they want to give us the money that we want. I'm all for it. I think Ferran is going to be the chosen one, whether or not he can, end off the season right from now until the end, get a couple goals, couple assists. If he does not, offer comes in 30-40 million euros. You cut your losses, really. This is the moment that you want to sell Ferran. You've had him now for a season and a half. He's had his chance. He's had his moment. I think on his day, he can be a brilliant, brilliant player and probably the ideal player that Barcelona does want, but his day hasn't come. Whether it's the pressure, Barcelona, the atmosphere and how he arrived, I don't know. To be honest, I don't care. He's been given his chance. If he does not, live up to expectations now and the offer does arrive, again, the key word is if the offer arrives. If we get an offer for 80 million for Ansu Fati and get nothing for Ferran Torres, Ansu Fati is going to be studied. But if we get something for Ferran Torres, which I think we will do, Mateo Alemán, of course, a month ago or so ago, said that a lot of Premier League clubs and La Liga clubs are very, 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 very interested in Ferran. Some of the interest is actually very, very concrete as well. So wait and see. I think there will be a forward sold this summer. I think it's probably going to be between Ansu Fati, Dembele, or Ferran. Dembele is a bit on the fact, contract renewal, Moussa Sissoko. Heard this story before. You just never know with that, but it'll be definitely one of those three forwards in my opinion if one of them do end up leaving, because we sign Victor Roca and we bring Messi back as well. someone has to leave. Now, a Barcelona forward that will end up leaving the club this summer as a free agent is the Barcelona B forward Ilias Akhomach, who will leave this summer and will not be renewing his contract with Barcelona. Florian Martinez from Deportivo came out saying that Ilias Akhomach will leave Barcelona as a free agent at the end of the season. Leeds United is currently the most advanced option for him, and they're finished almost in negotiation. AC Milan, Sevilla, and Club Brugge also contacted him. I'm not too fussed about losing Ilias because he had his opportunity, especially under Xavi, under Sergio Barjuan, even under Koeman as well. When we had the injury crisis up front, we had no strikers. He has opportunity. Again, Copa del Rey matches, league matches. He never really impressed, let's be honest. And the fact that Xavi has been with him now for a year and a bit and he's never gotten an opportunity since the summer, even in preseason, says it all really. The club don't back him, but hey, he could go out and turn into a superstar. You just never know. But it's very, very important to pick your battles with these B players. You don't want to waste too much time with them. They lose their market value. Again, we are losing him for free, so we're not going to gain anything from it. But was Ilias Akhomach the best? And maybe you never know. He could come back to Barcelona in the future, but I'm not really too upset or too fussed about losing him, and to be honest, neither is the club. Now, a Barcelona B forward who did take his opportunity when he was given them and has impressed Barcelona over the past year and a half is, of course, Abde, currently out on loan with Osasuna, and the club currently don't know what they want to do with him. Now, Javi Miguel from AES came out saying the return of Abde has more favoritism among the Barcelona coaching staff than the return of Nico Gonzalez. We'll talk about Nico after this. Juan Martin from Renewal came out saying that Barcelona's idea with the player, Abde of course, was to gain value and be able to cash in on him this summer, but now they're starting to make room for him in the squad. If the arrival of a 9 is confirmed, one Negreira would have to leave to make room for Abde. So the Barcelona's plan initially was to loan him out to Osasuna, hopefully he does well, cash in, get 10 million with maybe get 10 million off him. But he's done so good to the point that the club are actually thinking about bringing him back. Juan Martin also confirms that Abde will at least do preseason with Barcelona this summer. It seems difficult for, Clement, Lenglet, Des, and Nico to continue with the current team. Out of all those three, only Nico has a chance of gaining Xavi's trust. So Clement, Lenglet, and Des, adios to them. But on Abde, I think the situation is very, very interesting. But again, I go back to that report from Joan Laporta 2 or 3 weeks ago. You have to cash in on these players. You hold onto them too long, another loan, it's a risk, and they could end up depreciating in value. I think Abde's a fantastic player. I think he can make it at Barcelona, but right now it's not the right time. Ferran, Torres, Ansu, Fati, Dembele, Rafinha. You want to bring in another winger, maybe you're talking to freaking Marco Asensio for some sort of reason. He's not going to get that opportunity, although he does have the ability to get in at the moment. Unless we sell Ferran, and then we don't sign Asensio, and then we can maybe back Abde, but then again, we'll have to resign Victor Roca. What about Leo Messi? So I think for Abde, despite his talent, it's going to be very, very difficult for him to get to Barcelona, and I do think the club should cash in. Get that money. You can get, I think, at least a 20 million euro package for Abde, maybe even 15 million euros as an initial fee. Cash in, put a buyback option in there, put a sell-on clause in there, just put in something. If he explodes, great, maybe bring him back in the future, or generate that revenue from that buyback option or sell-on clause. And if he doesn't, then you don't regret your current decision. So wait and see with Abde. I think for him to stay at the club, he has to finish off Osasuna well, come to preseason, front foot, get some goals, assists, play well. Only then will the club consider it. I think right now it's a bit too far-fetched for him, a bit too early, but I think Abde has the talent, but I think at the moment it's not quite his time. Now, one player who's currently out on loan, whose future is in doubt, is of course the future of Nico Gonzalez. Juan Martin from Renewal has come out saying that Nico Gonzalez's future could be linked with Busquets' future and Barcelona's FFP situation. If Busquets leave and Nico performs well until the end of the season, then Barcelona can give him a chance. But if Busquets renew or Barcelona manage to sign a pivot, it's hard to imagine Nico's future at Barcelona. So Nico's future depends on other factors, us signing a pivot, Busquets leaving or staying. So nothing really in his hands, although there is still that chance. I think Nico, similar to Abde, can have a future at the club, but right now might be the time to cash in on him. Again, we'll wait and see. If we can't sign Gundogan, we can't sign Zubimendi, I'll back Nico to be the backup for Busquets. No problem with that whatsoever. But if we do sign Gundogan and Busquets does stay because Messi's coming back and all this sort of stuff, that's the time to cash in on Nico. I would not loan any of these players out again, whether it's Nico, Abde, Lenglet, Des. You gotta cash out. We gotta take the money while we can. If we lose money, he becomes a superstar, £100 million player. You have to hold the L. But if he doesn't, then you take the W. So we'll wait and see on Nico as well, but again, his future does depend on many other factors that are not in his hands. But a midfielder who is currently considered as an untouchable for Barcelona and no offers whatsoever will be considered for him is, of course, Frenkie de Jong. Sport have come out saying that Frenkie de Jong is now an indisputable player for Xavi. The coach considers him an irreplaceable, and Barcelona play with 4 midfield has benefited him a lot. So again, the club now fully back Frenkie de Jong, and also Gabriel Sanz from Mundo Deportivo came out saying that Barcelona's leadership are very satisfied with the performances of Frenkie de Jong and confessed to Mundo Deportivo that his departure would have been a mistake last summer. They quote saying, "We're lucky we didn't sell him." The same source also said that he understands better and better was being asked of him from the coach, and the coach values that a lot. So the club now are very, very happy we did not sell Frenkie de Jong last summer, and so am I as well. He is a generational talent. He is a world-class player, top 5 midfielders in the world right now without a shadow of a doubt, and I'm very, very glad he's a part of our midfield. Let's now discuss some contract renewal updates around the first team at Barcelona. Firstly, on the captain of the first team, Sergio Busquets. Now, Fernando Polo from Deportivo has come out saying that Sergio Busquets is still waiting for Barcelona's offer to renew him. A club meeting with his agent was expected this week, but it has been postponed to next week. The reason being is that Barcelona is still trying to construct the renewal offer, and they want to do it during the international break next week, and also of course after that pivotal El Clasico. But the numbers for Busquets' contract renewal have in fact been leaked, and leaked by the best source, Gerard Romero. He's come out saying the representative of Sergio Busquets met with Mateo Alemán and Jordi Cruyff yesterday in the morning, and Barcelona's offer to Busquets for a new deal is a salary of around 3 to 4 million euros per year for a 1-year contract extension plus an option of another year. So Busquets will have to reduce his salary by around 100,000 to stay at the club. Now here's the big question. If Messi is coming back, Busquets is definitely staying. If you offered this contract to Busquets and told him 100% Messi will come back if you renew, I think he will renew in a heartbeat. I really, really do. But if Messi does not come back, I don't think Busquets takes that contract, because he's having 15 million euros per year contract offered to him from Inter Miami, Al Nassr, Qatar clubs, Saudi clubs, wherever the case may be. He's getting triple-digit money, like bank money. And this is his prime time to leave now. I think he can do it for another year. I think he's very, very important to the team. We saw the assist yesterday against Athletic Club, not yesterday, 2 days ago, all over the weekend. This is goal for Rafinha. That was all Busquets. The movement that he does, the body feint, it opens up that space. Still a very talented player. It can still do a job, of course, in certain aspects of our game, in certain games as well. But we'll wait and see. I think Busquets' future is still 50-50. It'll be very, very interesting to see. I think if he rejects his contract renewal, it'll be a big, big step towards his exit. But if Messi comes back, I think Busquets will be very, very ambitious to stay. So we'll wait and see with Busi, but I think at the moment, definitely his future is currently set at a 50-50. The next contract renewal update is on the contract renewal of the backup goalkeeper at the club, Iñaki Peña, where his future currently is in doubt. According to reports coming in, Iñaki Peña will communicate his decision for his future in the coming days. He is torn between his head because of lack of minutes. He is a culé since he was a kid, which reminds him that his dream has always been to play for Barcelona. And also Juan Martí from Relevo came out confirming this as well, saying that Iñaki Peña's decision to renew his contract with Barcelona is imminent. He has 2 offers on the table from Galatasaray and Fenerbahce. A Premier League club is also pushing for him as well. So Iñaki Peña has offers to get regular minutes, but he wants to stay at Barcelona. He's a culé. He wants to be the goalkeeper for Barcelona. At the moment though, not getting too many minutes. Again, if Iñaki Peña stays, I'll be happy, I'll take it, but if he ends up leaving, I won't lose sleep over it. But now the question is, if Iñaki Peña leaves, what will the club do? Sign an experienced backup goalkeeper, or will they trust within? You're damn right they will trust within. Gabriel Sanz from Deportivo came out saying that Barcelona want to renew Iñaki Peña, but he has doubts due to lack of minutes. If Peña ends up leaving, the club will promote Lionel Messi to the first team. He also ends his contract in the summer, but the club can extend it unilaterally for 2 more seasons. So if Iñaki Peña does end up leaving, Lionel Messi will be promoted as the backup goalkeeper from 3rd choice to 2nd choice. So we'll wait and see what ends up happening. But again, in the future of Iñaki Peña is currently in doubt, but the decision is very, very imminent. We're expecting in the next 48 to 72 hours. The next contract renewal update is on the contract renewal of Barcelona gem in the juvenile A side, Lamine Yamal. And like with Alejandro Balde 2 years ago, we're back again. Apparently Lamine Yamal, not apparently, it's been confirmed that Lamine Yamal has chosen Jorge Mendes to represent him. Alberto Roque broke the news from Olivo, and of course Fabrizio Romano has confirmed this. He's come out saying that Jorge Mendes becomes the new representative of Lamine Yamal. The Yamal turns 16 in July this year and will be able to sign his first professional contract. The Portuguese will be in charge of negotiations for his future. Again, there was a meeting yesterday in Porto. Of course, João Laporta was at the Porto Inter Milan game, so clear as day he was in the city speaking with Jorge Mendes. Probably wondering, oh, Barcelona, you already brought this up, why are you bringing it back up again? Lamine Yamal has gotten in trouble with the Spanish national team. Sport have come out saying the RFEF will not call up Lamine Yamal for the Spanish under-17's upcoming U17 Euro qualifiers due to an act of indiscipline which happened during the last call-up in February. Barcelona are attentive and will study the situation and everything that has happened in that scenario. And apparently another Real Madrid academy player and another team also, they're all three of them got in trouble. So Lamine Yamal, a bit of a bad boy, getting in trouble already at 15, which is not a good sign. We'll wait and see what the scenario was, what actually happened. Will this be a turning point? Will he be focused, or will this just be a continuous situation? He'll just keep going. When I saw this, I'm thinking, oh, this is what, Jorge Mendes, him picking him, not surprised whatsoever. Jorge Mendes is very good at covering up these things, getting the best money for each client, and whether they're indisciplinary, have, attitude problems, he always gets the best out of them. So wait and see with Lamine Yamal, but again, having this indisciplinary action already with the under-17s of Spain, when he's, of course, at the 15 playing for the under-17s is a very, very good privilege. So we'll wait and see what happens with Lamine Yamal, but again, no doubt the club trusts him. They want to back him. He's the gem in the future of our winger position. The club do want to renew his contract. With Jorge Mendes, I do believe it'll, make the renewal easier, but again, I think he will squeeze a few extra dollars from Barcelona. But again, this disciplinary action is the one to look out for. Will Lamine Yamal be a good player with a good attitude, or could he be one with a bad attitude? The next contract renewal update is on the contract renewal of Ousmane Dembele, who in my opinion, alongside Busquets, is the most important renewal for the club. Now, we are hearing reports coming in from Mundo Deportivo that PSG have not forgotten about Ousmane Dembele and continue to follow him and are interested in signing him this summer. Now, when he renewed his contract last summer, his release clause was always a big question mark. During his renewal press conference, Aleman said that his release clause was 100 million euros, but apparently that release clause does end up changing. There are different variations of the release clause, and Fabrizio Romano has given it to us. He said there are two different release clauses in Dembele's current contract. 100 million euros currently from now until the end of the season, but in July and during August, his release clause will be 50 million euros. If he does end up staying in September, it will go back to 100 million euros, and Barcelona is currently working to renew his deal. So for 2 months, Dembele is available for 50 million euros, which is a steal for Dembus. But also, that could be the 50 million euros that we need to generate in the forward position, and that's why when we talk about Ferran and Ansu Fati, I included Dembele's name in there, because he can go for 50 million euros at the absolute maximum. The club will not accept anything lower than that, obviously, during that time period especially. And someone activates it, and Dembele says yes to the move. Bada bing, bada boom, transfer goes in, 50 million straight in the bank for Barcelona, then Ferran Torres and Ansu Fati end up staying. So keep your eyes on them, Busquets. I think that release clause will be absolutely crucial. The club essentially have to renew his contract by July, or else anything could happen. Literally anything. He could end up renewing in mid-July. A team could come in, activate his release clause. I think PSG will be all over that. Liverpool, Man City, Man United, if they're smart, 50 million euros for probably on his day one of the best wingers, if not the best winger in the world, is madness. Absolutely madness. And of course, Barcelona had to do that in order to renew his contract last summer in a very, very difficult situation. So we'll wait and see with Dembele, but again, his renewal is a top priority for the club, as there is a gap of 2 months when he's available for 50 million euros. And the final contract renewal update is on the contract renewal of course, the manager, Xavi Hernandez. Now, ARA Sports have come out saying that Xavi and his coaching staff currently paid around 4 million euros net per year gross and some bonuses, making him the Barcelona coach with the lowest salary since Pep Guardiola. João Laporta intends to improve the conditions of the contract. So Xavi and his coaching staff earning dirt cheap salary, but of course that's because we were in crisis especially when we appointed him. And Xavi, thank God, does not care about the money at all. He's mentioned it in his esports interview after the renewal came out, after the news came out that Laporta wanted to renew him. So yes, I will renew. I don't care about the money, but I care about winning titles. So Once we secure La Liga and the Cup and the domestic treble, I think we'll renew Xavi's contract in the summer. No worries whatsoever. I think it'll be smooth negotiation. Bit of a pay increase, as now we have some room to, have that money to give to him, and also he does deserve it. But again, it'll be a very comfortable process, but it will depend on the success of the team on the pitch. Let's now discuss some of the news surrounding Barcelona over the past week or so. Now, firstly, one of the biggest news that has come out recently over the past 24 to 48 hours has been the cancellation of the renewal registration of Gavi, which means he'll have to return back to his number 30 and remove his current number 6. REVOKED came out saying the court annuls Gavi's registration. The court has notified La Liga on Monday morning of the lifting of the precautionary measure that forced Gavi to register. Barcelona filed the lawsuit 1 day after the deadline. What happens now? Well, now Gavi's not registered in the first team as the judge forced it. In any case, he will be able to continue playing as up to now because he has filed for the subsidiary team, the Barcelona B team, and a La Liga visa to be able to compete with Xavi's team. Barcelona will be able to appeal this measure, but for the moment, the precautionary measures is cancelled. The reason he can't be registered is a new rule as of November 2022, which forced all clubs that had to use economic levers to present a plan to register players. You cannot be able to just justify the year's salary, which Barcelona could, but that of the next 2 years. Of course, that new rule, November 2022, for clubs that have used levers, it was only Barcelona, so that rule specifically was for Barcelona. Again, absolutely railless in VR. So, Javier Tebas got his wish. He appealed the renewal of Gavi, which of course he did that at the end of January, and now it has been accepted, which now means that Gavi will have to go back to number 30. It can no longer be number 6. He's no longer considered an official first team member. He's now going to be I think he's still a juvenile A player. He never got promoted to Barcelona B. He went from juvenile A straight to the first team, and that's how it's gonna be. But then we get encouraging reports last night from Cancelo saying that La Liga assures that Gavi will continue to be able to register as a first team player and continue wearing the number 6. I'm worried about this. El Clasico's on Sunday. Gavi's gonna play. Which number will he play? If he plays with number 6 and we win, and especially if he scores, oh, he's unregistered, blah blah blah, let's give the 3 points to Madrid, oh, cancel Barcelona's season. I can see it. I can see it. I think what Barcelona has to do right now is clarify everything with La Liga. You want him to wear number 30, whatever. You want him to wear number 6, can you wear number 6? Whatever. Get clarification. If he goes on the pitch with number 6 for the Clásico, I will be nervous, especially if he scores or assists. And then the Real Madrid will file can play illegal player used by Barcelona. Then I think we'll lose the entire 3 points. All 3 points will go to Real Madrid. So we gotta be very careful with this. But again, it is now being confirmed that La Liga have won their appeal, and Gavi is no longer considered an official first team member of this Barcelona's first team, and will now have to be registered again in the summer. Let's now discuss some of the injury updates surrounding the first team at Barcelona. Firstly, a big update on the injury of Pedri. He will be fit this Sunday for the Clásico. Fernando Polo Deportivo came out saying that Pedri will be available for this weekend's El Clásico at the Camp Nou. Have Miguel also confirmed that Pedri can play up to a maximum of 75 minutes this weekend. Fantastic news. Will he start or not is a big question, but he definitely will be able to come off the bench and provide some minutes. Ousmane Dembele will not be ready, unfortunately. He will return after the international break. Hope he does not go out on international duty with France. I think right now he is technically fully fit, but no official green light from Barcelona. But Pedri, great to have him back in the team, and he will be very integral this weekend in the Clásico. Let's now take a look at some of the news in regards to the Espai Barca project. Of course, the project to revamp the Camp Nou and make it more modern and make it look as sexy as it does in that picture. Now, Ligma is the company that's going to be, constructing the new stadium, have all the procedures. We're of course going to be giving them that 1.1 billion euros to revamp the stadium. They've been given certain deadlines by Barcelona to meet, and if they don't meet it, they will be fined themselves. Their president, who I'm not going to try to pronounce his name whatsoever, he came out saying that Barcelona will play again in the new stadium in November of 2024. So, of course, this upcoming new season, 2023, September 2023, we will not be playing in the Camp Nou. We will be playing in the Olympic Stadium, in the Mojica Stadium in Catalonia, and then we will return in November 2024, which does mean that September 2024, when we start the 2024-2025 season, we'll still be in the Mojica Stadium, in the Olympic Stadium, which is very important to know. So we will be at the Camp Nou for around about a year and a half, which It's going to be very, very weird, but of course many other teams have done that, and we have to get with the program. Now also, according to Candacer, the street that will connect the new Camp Nou with La Masia will be named after Johan Cruyff. The old La Masia building will be the institutional headquarters of the club. So again, since it's going to be revamping, we're going to be adding new things, new roads, new intersections, new buildings, new streets. This is a moment to commemorate a lot of the legends at the club, and again, it's all going to be about Johan Cruyff. He will be getting a street named under him again. So he of course has the stadium, the Johan Cruyff Stadium, which of course is the stadium for Barcelona B. He's also going to be getting a street as well. Now the final topic that I want to discuss before I end off this video is give you guys the updates currently on the Negreira case. Of course is the case about Barcelona allegedly playing referees to make favorable decisions, or I keep hearing different scenarios for it. It's getting so dragged out at this point, but there's so many updates that we have to discuss. Firstly is Real Madrid stabbing us in the back. Of course, before the match against Athletic Club, they released a statement saying they're going to be reviewing the Negreira case and also redefining their current stance on it. Fernando Polo came out saying that Barcelona were surprised by the statement from Real Madrid. Barcelona is not going to say anything without knowing what the Real Madrid board of directors decide, and they will respond or not depending on what they communicate. At this moment, both clubs maintain a fluid relationship due to the common interest of both leagues in defense of the European Super League. Sport director came out saying that if Real Madrid chose to intervene against Barcelona, they will be able to battle in which many will perish, including Madrid. Barcelona will not only be silent until the full truth is known, the truth of now and the past. They want war, they will get it. Fernando Polo also came out saying that if Real Madrid decides to support the theory that Barcelona tried to buy referees, it can be ruled out that the hostility with Real Madrid will open from Barcelona's side. Cancelo came out saying that Barcelona will have preferred that Real Madrid had not made a statement, but understand they had to make it under the pressure. The Super League project continues to stay alive. Now apparently they're supposed to have this lunch, El Clasico pre-lunch on Saturday, and apparently if Real Madrid don't put out a statement defending Barcelona and saying that like their stance is still neutral, they don't know, or they're going to side with Barcelona, the lunch will not happen. And if the lunch does not happen, the beef is back, lads. We're going to go back to prime 2009, 10, 11, 12, get in. Those were the prime days, but apparently relationship between Barcelona and Real Madrid right now is on the ropes, and that doesn't benefit either sides. Both sides, kind of need the togetherness to battle out for the Super League and all that sort of stuff, but Real Madrid turning against us is of course not a good sign. Now, Gabriel Sanz Mundo Deportivo came out saying that Barcelona's position after the prosecution office filed in the Negreira case, the scenario was foreseeable from the moment the referee filed the complaint in the court and the processuary office was forced to stop investigation and prosecuted it. The opinion of the prosecution who collects the complaint is nothing more than an absolute preliminary investigation hypothesis. Now, just so investigation probably begins, and this is where any hypothesis must be confirmed or rejected by FC, and FC Barcelona will contribute to the investigation in whatever is necessary. No referees have ever been bought, nor has it been an attempt to influence refereeing decisions. Now, Luis Rojo from Marca came out saying the prosecution office has not presented any evidence in their complaint in the Negreira case that provide that Barcelona bribed referees. Without proof, nobody can be punished. The only proof they have of accusation is unfair administration and false commercial documents. So after all this commotion, oh, Barcelona paid the referees, oh, this and that, no freaking proof whatsoever. Am I surprised? Now, El Mundo came out saying that from the environment of Bartomeu and Sandro Rosell, who were the main advocates for this, fuck both of them, they came out, they said that they insisted that many first and second division Spanish clubs made similar payments to Negreira. It was a widespread practice in Spanish football, but the complaint is only against Barcelona. The former director also claims that the payment was made to guarantee neutrality in the refereeing decisions, since there was a clear tendency to favor Real Madrid. So apparently we paid the referees to be fair. So this is what I heard. We paid the referees from the Barcelona side. We paid the referees to be fair. We conducted a survey between the referees to see how they referee games, and that of course costs money. We can't just conduct the survey out of nowhere. Then of course there's we paid referees to make decisions that favor us. Now, Royce from Mundo Deportivo came out saying that in recent days, external lawyers, compliance, the club's legal team, communication, and the president have been working and analyzing the Negreira case in depth. The idea is that Joan Laporta to hold a press conference within the next 2 weeks. Henrico Diaz from Cope came out confirmed this, saying that a press conference by Joan Laporta was scheduled to answer all questions, but it has been postponed for now as there's not enough clarity at the moment. Any public demonstration can be used against the club, and they have to be very, very careful. Barcelona said the judicial process will be very, very long. My source told me this will take years to get to a final solution, but again, right now we're still in the early stages where not much is known quite yet. Now, Renewal came out saying that legal sources believe that Barcelona, if found guilty, will not face any sanction for the Negreira case other than considerable economic fine. It will be believed that any kind of sporting sanction will not be imposed. So if, miraculously, Barcelona are found guilty, they won't get a transfer ban, they won't lose titles, they won't get stripped Messi of Ballon d'Ors. They're just going to get a big fine, and that is it. Which, to be honest, we cannot afford this fine at the moment. That would be very, very bad. But again, that's worst case scenario. So all this stuff about, Barcelona getting stripped of 8 La Liga titles, and Real Madrid's going to get it all, and all this, Champions League, give it to Juventus, and all this crap. It's just all widespread. This is all just Javier Tebas putting pressure in the media to, get Barcelona to, do an internal investigation, make resources known. Now, Javier Tebas is not the reason why this is being blown out of proportion, but he's the reason why everyone's attacking Barcelona, because he wants Barcelona to rot, because his side of the La Liga system for him is not favoring him at the moment. There are reports coming out saying that the CVC are not considering leaving their agreement with La Liga. One of the major reasons is that Javier Tebas failed to get Barcelona to join, and also apparently the Zone wants to leave La Liga as well. So Javier Tebas losing all his control, and then there will be elections for his presidential candidate next year. So hopefully he doesn't get another tenure, which would be absolutely disgraceful. Now, Barcelona have been talking about this, mainly, of course, Joan Laporta. He did tweet a few days ago, "Culés, be calm. Barcelona is innocent of what it is accused of and the victim of the campaign against its honor in which everyone is now involved. No surprise, we will defend Barcelona and demonstrate the club's innocence. Many will have to rectify," which means many of them will have to pay revenge. Now, there was a meeting yesterday for the first time in history of all the club captains, basketball, ice hockey, football, the youths, everything. All the club captains came around Barcelona. If you were under 9 captain, you were there from every single sport, which of course is very, very cool to see. The picture was pretty cool. During the meeting, or during the talk, Joan Laporta was speaking about the Negreira case. He was asked about it by the media. He started crying a bit. So this shows that we're not being set up, but the situation is being blown out of proportion beyond belief. Even PK came out yesterday morning saying that that Barcelona 100% did not pay for referees. If they did, they would do it behind the scenes in the black market. They wouldn't do it when you can see the invoices, and that's publicly distributed to the public and also to the socios as well. Like, if I'm Bartomeu and I want to pay a referee to give me a penalty in a game, I ain't gonna put on the books, I took out 10,000 to give the referee to give us a penalty against Deportivo La Coruña. I'm gonna go to the referee and say, here you go. It's all blown out of proportion. If we're getting paid by if we paid referees, then my God, then we get robbed, because we got nothing in our favor whatsoever. We'll see what happens with this Negreira case. I think once Laporta does his press conference explaining everything, that's when I think the situation will die down. Then once it gets to court, it'll pick back up again. But again, nothing to prosecute Barcelona whatsoever. It's all just talk. Apparently, every club paid Negreira to conduct these surveys and make refereeing fair, some crap. It's all being blown out of proportion because it's Barcelona. So that was my reaction to the Barcelona news over the past week or so. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, and of course leave me your thoughts down below in the comments on everything we discussed. The main thing I want to first, of course, is on the transfer news. Who would you sign and why? Who would you favorite to sign and why? If you had a budget, how do you distribute it? Leave me all your thoughts down below. Do you think Messi will end up returning or not? On renewals, on Busquets, Iñaki Peña, Dembele, the future of some of the loan players, Abde, Nico, Lenglet, Des, Gavi's cancellation of his renewal, and also your thoughts as well on the Negreira case as well. And of course, make sure you guys subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys next time on the channel. Take care and Forza Barca.